to Enots Engineering. I'm Alan. In today's video we're looking at setting the tailstock true to the headstock by using a test bar and a dial indicator. So let's go into the workshop and see how we do it. Well, today I want to check that the chuck is in line with the tailstock. It's been a number of years since I've checked it, so I thought I'd check it today and show you how I do it. Now, I've lost my original test bar, so first thing we'll do is make a test bar. And what I have is this bar. It's a piece of silver steel. This one's 15 millimeters. To make a test bar, what I need to do is face off each end and then put a centre in each end so I can put this between centres in the lathe. So the first thing to do is put this in the chuck, face and centre drill, turn it round, face and centre drill. Now I'll just leave it sticking out just a fraction so I can put a dial indicator on here and check how much it's running out. This is the dial indicator I'm using. It's a 1/10 of a thou dial indicator. I have it in a steel block. There's a brass bush in the end and a grub screw in this end that tightens up on the brass bush so that I don't damage the spindle of the dial indicator. So that goes into my tool post. Turn that round and move it into position. That's about the best I can get it. File, I'll just take this edge off. That end's done. So turn the bar around and do the same on the other end. The file, I'll just take this edge off. That end's done. So turn the bar around and do the same on the other end. So you now have a bar with a centre at each end. Okay, first of all, now taking the chuck off, I'll just clean the taper. Well, that looks okay from there. So that looks okay, and now we'll try the test bar. And the test bar should fit in between there. Okay, so it's between centres, so I'll turn this round. And what I want to do is get the high spot. Then we'll go to the other end, do the same. Okay, so that's back at 0, and that proves that the tailstock is 6 thou out. Now on this tailstock I can put an offset on there by adjusting this grub screw on this side, and there's one on the back. So what I need to do is pull the tailstock towards me 6 thou. So I'll slacken this one off, and move the one at the back. Look at the dial indicator. If I put that on 0, and I need to move it 6 thou. I'll move it 4 thou at first and see how it is. So now the dial indicator is 0 at the chuck end, and I'll move it back to the tailstock end. You see it's 0 at the tailstock end. And it's important that you have your tailstock lock on, because that will alter as you pull your tailstock down to the bed. If I take the lock off, you can see it's altered by a few tenths. Put the lock on, it's altered a few tenths. A couple of tenths over the distance of about a foot. Now the other thing I want to check is on the top of the bar going across to see whether the tailstock's higher or lower than the headstock, so I'll have to change my dial indicator to a different position. So I've set the dial indicator to 0. If I move the saddle along, when I get to the other end, the dial indicator's moved down to 1 thou below. So the centre on the tailstock is 1 thou below the centre on the headstock, and for that much difference it's not worth adjusting the height of the tailstock to bring it in. But let's say for example it was 5 or 6 thou out, or even 10. All I do is shim the tailstock up. Now on the Boxford tailstock, because it's split here, you can undo the grub screw each side. The top half will lift off the bottom piece, and you have just this guide here across the tailstock where these clamp to. So if you slacken each grub screw off and undo the nut for the locking lever, you should be able to lift the tailstock off the base plate, and then using some shim stock you can put some shim under there to the equivalent thickness, put it all back together, and it should have lifted the tailstock up to the correct height. So we've checked out the offset backwards and forwards, and we've checked out the offset from top to bottom. Oh well, that's it for today. Hope that was useful, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time on Enots Engineering.